Hi, this is Chris Potter. On this video I'm going to talk about some easy pieces that you can play on the bass flute. Most of these pieces are originally for C flute, but they work really well for bass, and we want to play some easy pieces sometimes. Maybe you want to play a solo at your church or something and you need some pieces to play. So I'm going to be talking about a bunch of different books, and they are all available at Flute World, at Carolyn Nussbaum's, and at Flute Specialists. And at the end of this video I will be giving the web addresses of those businesses, and I will also list the names, composers, titles, and publishers of all the books I'm going to talk about. The first one I want to mention is called Tons of Tunes from the Classics. This is a British composer by the name of Kurnow. It comes with an accompaniment CD, and it also can have a printed piano part if you'd like. And one of the fun things about this book is that it also comes for trumpet, or clarinet, or French horn, or bassoon, or saxophone. So if you've got a little ensemble at home, then you could all get together and play this. Next book, it's called 6 Folk Songs, published by Southern. This is for flute, alto flute, or guitar. And the flute part on 2 of the pieces works especially well on bass flute, and that is Barbara Allen and All the Pretty Little Horses. So a piano can also play the guitar parts, but this is a nice one for guitar. This is Mike Mower's Junior musical postcards. Mike is a British composer. He writes wonderful sort of jazzy pieces, and also in this book he has this wonderful accompaniment CD that has instruments from different countries of the world. So each one of these pieces is in the style of a different country. So for example, on the South Africa one there's an accompaniment with lots of percussion, so they're really fun. This book has 3 pieces in it that I think work especially well for bass. That is the Silk Tree, which is from China, Tango del Fuego, which is from Argentina, and my favorite from Wales, Seal Island Lament. The next book is Alto and Bass Flute Solos, which is a book that I have recently arranged. It's published by Falls House Press, and there is a separate piano accompaniment for alto and a separate piano accompaniment for bass that you can buy. And I also have it on a CD. You have to get that CD directly from me, cpotter@altoflute.net. And there are several pieces in here. I mean, these are all pieces that I really have a good time with. The Tchaikovsky Arab Dance from the Nutcracker, 2 movements from the Vivaldi Spring Concerto, some spirituals, Danny Boy, some Christmas tunes like O Come, O Come Emmanuel. The alto and the bass both play out of the same book, and so the piano accompaniments are in different keys. I'm going to play. First piece for you is Carol of the Bells. And the next piece I'm going to play from this book is the Japanese folk song Sakura, or Cherry Blossoms. these accompaniments, I thinned the piano parts down so that they wouldn't cover up the low flutes. So again, that's alto and bass flute solos, published by Falls House Press. Here's another really fun one. This one's called Chocolate Box. These are all original compositions by British composer Paul Harris. They have some low-calorie options like Toffee Tango, Mocha Barocca, and Fudge Fandango. This comes with a printed piano part. It's published by Novello. Here's a nice collection. It's called Famous Flute Favorites, arranged by Hugh Stewart, published by Boston Music. What I especially like about this book is each piece has some little historical fact that makes it even more interesting. And what I learned from this book was that a musette, the dance form, the musette, was actually the name of the French bagpipes, and they called the music that they played on the French bagpipes after the French bagpipes. So they just called the pieces musette. I didn't even know there was such a thing as a French bagpipe. Anyway, this comes with a printed piano part. Another nice collection. This is called Easy Flute Solos. It's published by AMSCO, A-M-S-C-O. This has a printed piano part. And what's really nice about this book is there's such a wide variety of styles. There's some Stephen Foster, some John Philip Sousa, Mozart, Irish folk songs, spirituals, and polkas. It's a really fun, lots of books. You can see how thick that is. Lots of pieces in there. If you're looking for some easy scales to do on the bass flute, you really want to work on your tone and get it more consistent in the registers, this is a really nice and easy scale book. So it's technique standards for flute, and this is the scales for first, second, and third year players, and I'll show you what the scales look like. Very user-friendly, just quarter notes. How easy can this be? Okay, this is published by Falls House Press. Now, if you want to play some duets, I've got some duet books that I think you'd really enjoy. This one is Classical Pop Duets, published by British publisher Kevin Mayhew. Now, it's originally the idea was 2 flutes, but the range and the breadth capabilities are work very well for bass flute. So the pieces I like in here that work especially well are Swan Lake, the Largo from the New World Symphony, Pachelbel Canon, Clair de Lune, Schubert Ave Maria, Brahms Lullaby, Une Belle Die from Madame Butterfly, Ode to Joy, and the Ravel Pavane. So you could have the flute on the first part, the bass on the second, or even 2 basses. So, classical pop duets. Here's another duet book. This is Forbach Fugues. I really like fugues. So this book, published by Falls House Press, you can play it with 2 flutes, 2 alto flutes, 2 bass flutes, a C flute on the top, a bass flute on the bottom, an alto flute on the top, a bass flute on the bottom, a C flute on the top, an alto flute on the bottom. So very flexible. One of the fugues in here is easier than the other 3, and that is it's a very famous fugue, and I think you'll recognize it. It's the one that starts like this. So that turns into a duet. I think you really like that one. So the other 3 are harder in that book, but that one is so fun. And the last book I'm going to show you is called Fun Flute Duets. This is also published by Kevin Mayhew in England. And this one is divided up into 5 themes. There are 88 pages of duets in this book. Not all of them work for bass, but many of them do. So in the food theme area, there is a duet version of the Japanese folk song, Cherry Blossoms. In the Irish section, there's Molly Malone, Irish Washerwoman, and Staten Island Ferry. In the Halloween section, the Addams Family theme. There is a section about animals, so there's some tunes in there. The elephant from the Carnival of the Animals, and the cat and the wolf themes from Peter and the Wolf. And then the patriotic section, America the Beautiful and You're a Grand Old Flag, work really nicely on bass. So I hope I gave you some ideas of some fun pieces to play. Thank you.